All right, the question here is, they haven't talked since September. Is this a bad sign for Dak Prescott?
No. I'm going to humbly personalize this story. I think it's a good sign. We all know nothing gets done without a deadline. And I was a free agent one time, and it took me 12 hours to sign the richest deal in Chargers history. 12 hours. Didn't take that damn long because they knew what they wanted. I knew what I wanted. We kind of got there. This situation I love and respect is because they started at a certain place. Dak said, that's not where I am. Call me when you get where I am. Now I'm going to fast from all the mundane, monotonous details. Oh, they went up 5,000. They went up 100,000. I don't want to hear that. And you know why I think it worked? Dak had a career year. He said, we talk in September before the season. After that, I'll talk to you after. We're going to handle this appropriately. So Dak Prescott had the right mindset. Don't call me unless you're ready to do something.
I think it's fantastic. I think he's in a great position.
They haven't talked since September.
That's fine. The price of doing business is still the price of doing business. I think he's in a great place. I think if he takes the deal that they had on the table, which was $33 million a year, you add that on, you say that's a 5-year deal at $33 million a year, you add that $2 million on to that deal, and now it's a 6-year deal. You're talking totally different numbers. Now you come anew in free agency. He's facing 2 franchise tags, which will be I think it's about $77 million, 76.5. So at this point, now you're looking at it as saying, if that deal don't have $77.5 million guaranteed over those 2 years and don't average that, that's where we're starting. That's my floor now.
Mm-hmm. House money.
I think the only problem with that is it's still being based off of how the ownership values him. So if you're paying attention, the storyline has never given us any reason or any cause to think that they're going to go above and beyond what they've already offered.
They don't really have a choice. The franchise tag is above and beyond what they already offered.
They have a choice.
They can move on. That's fine.
They can move on from them. And what he has to understand is, and again, could it work out for him playing that game? It could work out for him. And you hope that it works out for the player in this scenario. But that betting on yourself and leaning into, I'm going to wait for him to call me when it's the price of doing business. If it doesn't work out that way, say, for instance, they let him go. Mm-hmm. Because it wouldn't cost that much to just let him go
and he's
replace
instantly
him.
the #1 free agent on the
And
market.
it's, quote, robust. There's a robust marketplace for Dak
quarterbacks.
Prescott.
Look what Kirk Cousins got.
He's not Kirk Cousins.
He's better than Kirk
He's
Cousins.
going to get paid more than Kirk Cousins. You want to bet that? Nobody wants to bet that.
He might, but he's not. He's not.
If he's
He has not
$35 million. He'll be the
proven
richest quarterback in NFL history.
No.
way.
The richest. I'm willing to say that he's going to get more than $35 million. His new deal. His new deal will be $35 million a year.
All it takes is one crazy owner. I just don't think Jerry Jones is that crazy owner. And to me, when you start talking about you haven't talked since September, to me, and y'all been married, to me it's like a husband and a wife, they start sleeping in other rooms because they mad at each other. And then the thing goes on so long, and a smart husband be like, well, damn, she came back in here. What is she up to?
But
or what is he up to?
The difference between
And I'm telling you, the Cowboys are up to something. New head coach, and this quarterback going 8-8 in a alleged career year. You start looking around and be like, well, damn, maybe Tom Brady or somebody, or draft somebody. Anything's a possibility. The longer this goes without them talking, I just think there's, again, I said it on Cowherd at the end of the show, 10% chance Dak's not their starting quarterback.
No, it sounds good. It all sounds good, and we want to say, yeah, they don't talk and like a husband and a wife, but you got to take emotion out of all of this. When you talk about $150 million, there is no emotion in this.
Right.
This is straight business.
And you sound like a single man because when you single, you talk about everything that happens. Yeah. When you married, you get strategic. You're like, look, we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about this. Now, when we have movement, we'll talk fully about this.
Absolutely.
But this is the mature way. Like, why are we bothering each other in October, November, and we ain't moving? They always say that talk robs walk. If you see some dudes that's talking woofing, they ain't about to fight. The fighter is the one who hits them because when you in my face, dog, when we over here talking so much, we ain't walking. I want to wait till we doing some walking.
But what also makes this thing
I've gotten into a few fights with some talkers, and they fought pretty well.
Oh, you took some L's? I got to challenge
had to put that on record. There was a talker.
They beat you with the hands and the tongue?
Yeah.
But the bottom line in this whole situation is the franchise tag deadline is way ahead of free agency.
Got it.
So if you
can't
chose not to
lose.
franchise tag him,
Yeah.
you better know that Tom Brady is coming?
Can
Are you
peop-
going to be looking at a 2-14 season?
But we
It
got
could be another quarterback.
Don't complicate
Might
it
not
first.
just be Tom Brady.
Teddy Bridgewater?
Don't complicate
It could be anybody.
No
It
way.
is simple.
possible.
Dak cannot lose. He's looking at it in the monetary value scope. He could get franchise. He's made $4 million on the field in his career. He gets franchise. He's making 33. He won. He gets another franchise year. He's up to 75. He can't lose, guys.
Okay, the
even if
only way
gets-
he could lose is if he really, really values being a Cowboy and the Cowboys move on from him. That's a loss.
But they say they value him, and he's not going anywhere.
Long
also.
term, they say, but again, at what price? And I'm just telling you, eventually what married people do, they turn very business oriented as well. They start putting pen to pad. Now, if I leave, how much is this going to cost me?
Yeah.
I got child support, blah, blah, blah. And she's over there plotting. How's it going to work?
But
for us
also,
financially?
she also saying that, that salary cap going to be, you're going to make more money next year so you can afford to pay me more. That's how child support work.
It does.
There's no, but I'm just telling
They
you,
do come back.
Jerry Jones is the judge and jury on this, and they seem pretty resolved. They're not going to overpay. And you come in there like Todd France, he getting more than $35 million.
But I've negotiated with Jerry
letting you
Jones
walk.
before.
I got you.
Same here.
And I know
He pays.
He pays.
I got
He
paid.
values his players. Jerry Jones, that's like ran like a family-owned business over there. They're looking at him, and the last thing Jerry wants to see is what he's seen in DeMarcus Ware.
And listen to this, Whitlock. He's not worth $33 million according to you. But guess what, Jerry? You slow play this and 2 franchise tag him. He getting more than $33 million. It's just he can't lose. Dak is sitting there like, play it. That's why I don't need to talk to y'all. Y'all figure your situation out because I already know I'm going to win.
They're way too invested in him.
Yeah.
Jerry does not want to see a player walk out of that building and have success somewhere else.
Or he could fail. Nick Foles went and failed someplace else. Sometimes
Nick
you
Foles
can be
didn't
smart.
Nick Foles didn't get no franchise tag.
I
Compare him to
understand
Nick
that,
Foles.
but I'm just saying you could.
Comparing apples to oranges now.
Who do you think Dak is? Who
Comparing
do
apples
you
to
think
oranges.
Dak is?
I think that Dak is a winner. And I think
No.
he's getting better.
Give
I
me a
think Nick-
comparison.
Nick
Give me a
Foles
comparison.
is a spot starter.
Give me a comparison. Who is
Wow.
Dak? Is he
I'm not
Warren
gonna
Moon?
compare-
Is he
no,
Tom
come
Brady?
on now you're asking me to do something I can't do.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.